Hey everybody, Movie Review Next Door here, and I'm back again with another review. And this time, I'm reviewing Ninja 2: Shadow of a Tear. This is a 2013 action martial arts film directed by Isaac Florentine yet again, and it stars Scott Adkins, Kane Kasugi, Shun Sagata, and Mika Hiji. In this film, fight everyone and trust no one. It's the code of survival practiced by martial arts master Casey Bowman after his life of, well, I'm going to read the Blu-ray one because it's not as long. After his pregnant wife is murdered, American ninjutsu master Casey Bowman heads straight to the Azuma Dojo to find his wife's killers, a journey that takes him from Osaka to Bangkok to Rangoon in his quest for vengeance. His only clues are victims strangled by barbed wire, but nothing will stop him from avenging his wife. Let me move the camera. So, what did I think of Ninja Shadow of a Tear? Well, pretty much all of my issues with the first film are addressed in this film, and this is a fantastic action movie. It's, there's no real other way I could put it. It is fantastically done action, doesn't cut every half a second. You've got a very capable actor in the lead, Scott Adkins, who can also fight like it's no one's business. And it's nice and brutal. And it gets to the point right away. Uh, Let me get to the cast. Scott Adkins plays Casey Bowman. Again, I think he does a great job acting. Um, uh, there are people that disagree with me, fine, but I think in terms of action stars, he's definitely one of the better in the acting department because it feels like he's actually trying to play more of a human. But he also kicks ass in these fight scenes, and they look even better in this film than the first. And I'll talk about that in a bit. Ken Kasugi plays Nakabara. He is an old friend of Casey's, and he ends up kind of helping him on his quest to get vengeance. He does a good job playing this. He gets a couple fights in the film, and that's cool. If anybody doesn't know, he is one of the sons of Sho Kosugi, who is basically one of the guys that brought ninja action movies to the forefront in America through Canon Films, and it's really cool to see his son in a film like this. Shun Sagata plays Goro. He's kind of our main villain here. He's he's not in the film that much, but I think for the little bit they show of him, he's decently threatening. And Mika Hiji plays Namika, who is Casey's wife. She's not in the film too long, but she does a decent job. But here's what I was saying about this film. This film has about a third, less than a third of the budget of the first film. The first film cost $10 million, and this one cost 2.6 million. So actually a fourth. Yet almost everything that I had wrong, that I thought was wrong with the first, is fixed here. Yes, while you don't have the blood flying after every sword swipe, I'm kind of okay with getting rid of it and going more practical, where it's not as over the top because it feels a bit more grounded in reality. I think that punches up the action a bit here. You, from what I could tell, there was no CG used in this film. And if that is true, I think they chose the right route because Scott Adkins is such a talented martial artist that you don't really need to fake anything. Um, the way that this is filmed is so much better. You don't have the snap zooms during like every fight, which really got on my nerves, to be honest. Uh, the camera seems to be a bit more still during the fight scenes, which definitely helps in the case of an action movie. Um, and you just have a lot more clean fights. It's, again, I love movies that have shootouts and all that. This film doesn't really have that. It's more focused on martial arts, which I'm fine with. It's a ninja movie. It's not a ninjas with guns movie. And here, this film has more action than the first, for sure. And I think it's better paced out. Because you do get quite a few fights before the final showdown. And in films like this, you'd usually get like a couple small fights and then it would be like big long exposition dump. This film knows how to tell its story while getting into action every so often. And I like that because it values your time. It doesn't waste your time on just a scene of babble, babble, babble. Um, there are films that do that right and really deliver with the action while kind of being a slow burn. But this film does exactly what you should do when you have Scott Adkins as your lead, which is use him as much as you can. Because I didn't count the amount of fight scenes there were, but there had to be in the double digits, at least 11, maybe somewhere at 15 or 16. But this film is action packed, and I can really give credit to Isaac Florentine and everybody involved for how packed with action the film is, and I can't wait to see more of Isaac Florentine's work. Um, Scott Adkins, again, is really the glue, part of the glue holding these types of films together. Because with a lesser actor, the emotional beats wouldn't hit, and with an actor who's not as experienced in martial arts, the fight scenes wouldn't be as good. It's a good thing that you have an actor like Scott who is both good dramatically and, like he proved in Avengement, and also fantastic in the action scenes. Um, and here, yeah, he kicks major ass. He really does. Um, this has to be one of the best films I've seen with him. There have been quite a few that I've really liked. I have to look them up. Uh, Day Shift, he wasn't a main character, but I liked Day Shift. Um, American Assassin's a pretty dang good movie. Uh, Avengement was fantastic. Criminal was decent. Triple Threat, I remember liking. I'd have to watch it again. Accident Man is fantastic. Debt Collector was decent. Um, the Tournament, he had a small part in that, was awesome. Accident Man 2 Hitman's Holiday was. It was. I liked it more so just for the action because I wasn't into the comedy and the way the plot went, and certain characters were just really fucking annoying. But I could still watch it just for the action scenes. Close Range was decent. No, Close Range was pretty good. Castle Falls is fun. Legacy of Lies was pretty dang good. I think it's underrated. El Gringo, like I've seen a lot of his films actually. El Gringo is decent, I guess. And Special Forces I really like. But yeah, he's definitely an actor that it seems like he loves to work and he wants to do what he does best, acting and kicking ass. And I wish more Hollywood movies would stop wasting him in movies that really don't use his talents all that well. Like, again, Criminal and American Assassin, where American Assassin, he technically gets a fight scene against Dylan O'Brien, but it's really a training fight, and then later he really doesn't get to show off his skills. He kind of just dies. Um, it's one of my problems with that movie is that they waste him. But again, here he's used very well, like he was in a lot of the movies that I mentioned, and Trying to think if I had any issues with this film. It does still use a couple stock sound effects a couple more times than I would want. It uses the dung a couple times that I was like, okay, you can stop that. But I was just having so much fun just watching him just destroy people in fights and kicking ass and all that I kind of just didn't care. Um, I think the music here was a step up. It's really nice and cinematic feeling. And again, it shows that you don't need a huge budget to make a badass action movie. Literally, $2.6 million is not a big budget. And again, Millennium Films, or New Image, whatever they're calling themselves now, are an indie entertainment company. Yes, they've made high budget movies. High budget does not mean it's not indie. This is why I think indie movies are going to take over Hollywood, because they keep making high quality stuff like this on super low budgets. And it shows that you don't need to pay someone like Angelina Jolie $30 million just to appear in a movie, when instead you can make a movie for $30 million that looks great. But yeah, not much else I can say about this. It is This film is on Freevee, FilmRise, Plex, so you can watch it for free. I definitely recommend it. It's 96 minutes of badass, and yeah, that was my review of Ninja Shadow of a Tear. If you enjoyed the review, let me know. If you've seen the film, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, and movie reviewer next door.